Test 1, 2. Sega.
Comix Zone is sort of a cross between a traditional platformer and a Streets of Rage style brawler. You play as Sketch Turner, a comic book artist that tries way too hard to be the mid-90s definition of cool. There are plenty of different moves to use for combat, as well as several different special items to pick up. These items can help you in combat, pass obstacles, or solve some of the game's puzzles. Each level has multiple paths, which adds to the replay value. Comix Zone was designed with the 6-button controller in mind. It will work with the 3-button controller, but the game will be much more difficult. With the 6-button controller, the top 3 buttons give you instant access to your special items, and one of the bottom 3 buttons can be assigned to do one of your special moves, which are normally difficult to execute. With the 3-button controller, one button selects between your different items. It is clunky and you are vulnerable while making the selection, so make sure you have a 6-button controller for this game. This is where the game really stands out. The art style faithfully mimics the style of mid-90s comic books. Everything is vivid and detailed. The only thing holding back the graphics is the resolution. This game is just begging for an HD re-release. Comix Zone is no slouch in the audio department either. The sound effects have a nice amount of bass to them, and the voice samples are clear. The music is pretty good as well. Comix Zone is very difficult. You start out with only 1 life and no continues. If you get enough points, you can earn more continues, but you will start back at the beginning of page 1 of the current level. Each level is broken up into 2 parts. The original cartridge release does not have a save feature, though some re-releases, like Sega's Genesis collections for the PS2, PS3, and Xbox 360, allow you to use save states, so you may want to do some research on the different releases before you buy. Late one night, Sketch Turner is working on his new comic book. Outside, a lightning storm rages. But it's not an ordinary lightning storm. It's one of those magical lightning storms that causes robots to become sentient, or gives people superpowers, or whatever weird thing the writer wants to happen. In this case, the lightning brings the villain from Sketch's story into the real world. There is nearly constant dialogue between Sketch and the other characters as you play. It adds a lot to the feeling that you are playing a comic book. The actual story isn't that great, or even very coherent, but it is far better than other action games at the time, which had next to no story at all. There are also 2 different endings, which adds to the replay value. In terms of objectionable content, the characters swear occasionally. It's censored, but you can tell what they are saying from the context. There is plenty of violence, but it's nothing graphic. There is some sexism in that the female combatants, despite being evil mutant warriors, will shriek in terror and flee if they encounter a rat. They also wear revealing outfits. Comix Zone was a great game back in 1995, and it is still a great game today. I suggest you get a version with a save feature, but I recommend all versions of this game.